Is this Lace paper wallet the most secure paper wallet out there in crypto? And how easy is it to actually set up so that you can start securing your assets? Now, this is a question that came in from a subscriber on my YouTube comment, and it reads this: how about a highlight or spotlight, even a video on how to actually manage to print a paper wallet in Lace? For my liking, it seems impossible if you aren't a developer. And it is a little bit technical because you have to use something called a PGP key, another level of encryption on the wallet itself, so it protects that private key that you print out. So if you find the paper wallet yourself, you can't restore that wallet if you can't decrypt that secret key. So this is an extra level there, extra level of security that makes this wallet really, really appealing. So let's get into it. Let's learn exactly how we can set one up and start using it and potentially hack this Lace wallet bug bounty that Charles announced. Like always, thank you for joining me on the podcast episode here. I'm Peter Buey and I create content all around the Cardano ecosystem. And on your way in, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, notification bell. I'll try and educate you with everything that's happening in the space and make your experience in Cardano that much better. Now, this is the post here. This is the wallet bug bounty program. If you can hack this Lace wallet, this 1 million USD is yours. This is the wallet here itself. You can download this paper wallet. This is what it looks like here. So you can scan that and try and restore it within Lace. And then if you can decrypt it somehow, that 1 million USD is yours. You can also see this on Cardano scan here. This is the USDM. 1 million USD there. So we did see USDM jump up 1 million in 1 million increments over the last couple of weeks. And this was one of the reasons why, having that massive amount of money in that wallet sitting there waiting for someone to try and hack it. Okay, so let's set up a PGP key so that you guys can actually set up a brand new wallet. So this is an online generator here. This is called PGP Key Generator. And for anyone that wants to use this, it's probably the easiest way of going about it. I'll go through how to do this on the website and then show and talk about some cons about this method. So let's go through here and fill in this form. So here I can put in my name. Now with the email address, PGP keys were originally used to encrypt those email messages. So if you're using Outlook or whatever program you may be using, you could use your PGP key to sign that particular message to prove that's actually from you. So this is a great way to authenticate those messages. So if you use your real email address here, you'll be able to attach it to Gmail, for example, because there are extensions there, or use it with a service like ADAMail and have your email sent from that digitally signed with your PGP key. So I am going to use my ADAMail address here in this case. Now, sometimes it's a good idea to use a fake email address here. So you have that extra level of anonymity. You do need to remember that email address, it may be used and referenced on different applications in the future as well. So if you make something up, make sure you know that particular email address. Now, optional comments, you don't need to put anything here. The algorithm, I prefer to use the RSA. This is the recommended one. It's a very good encryption, a level of encryption. You can look up the differences between the two. They're very, very similar, but RSA is used more extensively in a lot of different scenarios. So I prefer to keep things with more compatibility, and RSA is my option there. Now, key size, the bigger, the more secure here, but of course it takes more computational power. Now, with the amount of computational power that a lot of the PCs have, the 4096 bits is still quite fast. Okay, so I'm going to use that one there, and expiry time, I'm going to choose never. You can have this expire in the future, such as 8 years, but then you have to remember that and manage your paper wallet accordingly. So before that 8-year period, you need to move all those assets off, or else you'll never be able to use this PGP key to decrypt your wallet. So in this case, I'm going to put never. Now, the last bit here, you need a passphrase. Now, this is an extra password that you use to decrypt any of the files. So you have your private, public and private key from your PGP key pair, but you also need a password to unlock it too. So I'm just going to type in a password here. There we go. And that all looks good. So I'm going to click on generate keys. It does take a little while to generate these. And there we go. So now I've got my public and my private key. don't worry, I won't be using these keys ever. I'm going to nuke these right after this video recording. So I've also created one a little bit earlier here on my desktop. Now what I did here in this case was that I saved this website locally onto my computer and then generated my keys here on the browser. Now you can do this, you can save it on your computer, you can disconnect it from the internet or take it to another computer that hasn't been connected online at all and generate your PGP keys that way. It's an extra level of security measure that you can take to ensure that any of the data that you're generating here isn't going online. So it's not being passed off to a third party without you knowing. Because like if you can't read the code, you can't inspect what's going on, you're not going to know. So there's a big level of trust in using this type of website. So now that you have that key, you can download that public key and save that locally, and then you can download your private key or secret key and save that locally as well. So you'd want to store this on a USB stick, for example, that's not connected to computer. So you don't want it sitting there. You don't want to upload it to Dropbox or cloud storage where anyone can access it, because if anyone does hack those particular accounts, then they will have access to those keys and be able to potentially decrypt something that you may have. So make sure these are stored offline on a cold storage that no one can access. Okay, so now that you have your keys, you can now start using it somewhere. Now there's, of course, you can use it to create the Lace wallet, but while I have your attention here, you can use it on something such as ADAMail. And let me just show you here this quickly. So here in ADAMail in the settings, you have encryption and you've got this extra extension that you can use with it called Mailvelope. So Mailvelope lets me use my PGP key. I can use it and manage it within keys.openpgp. This is a service here, and then you can search for your email address and see and manage your key against that particular email. So you can always ensure that you're signing your email messages with your PGP key. So that's an extra level of security that you can add onto emails and an extra usage that you can use for these keys. So now that I have that PGP key, let's create a brand new wallet within Lace and have the encrypted paper wallet experience. So here we are in Lace. I've clicked on Add New, and now I'm going to click Create. Down here, we have the option for the paper wallet. So I'll click on Next, and this is where you're going to put in your public PGP key. So we can give this a name. I'm just going to call it Test. And here we need to copy in the public key block that we just generated. So I'm going to select all, copy, and then go back to here and paste that in. There we go, got a nice little tick. So that's validated and that's all good to go. So I'm going to click on Next. Wallet 2, that's fine. And here we need to put in a password for this particular wallet. Now, it's probably important to note that this isn't the same password as your PGP key. We don't want to use the same password here. This wallet is for accessing the wallet itself and interacting with it and doing things with it. So we don't want this to be the same password as your PGP key. So I've just created that wallet. Let's generate, and here we go. So I can download the wallet now. So I'll download that locally. And I can also now print that off. Now I have one here that I created a little bit earlier, and it's pretty cool on how it formats out. So if you haven't ever seen one of these before, this is how it prints out. So it's a nice little print, and then you can fold that in, and it's a nice compact wallet. So this is what it looks like. So you got a nice little Lace logo on there. The back of it, you have your receiving address. So if you want to seal this up and laminate it, if you want, so seal it in plastic, you can always send assets to this quite easily because you have that QR code there. And then if you ever need to open up one day, you open up the lamination, you expand the wallet itself, and then you have the full piece of paper with the restoration, encrypted restoration private key or secret key right there. So this is what you use within Lace Wallet to actually restore it. So now that I've printed that out, if we go back to the wallet here, let's open the wallet. And this is it. That's it. It's really easy to do. It did not take long at all. Just setting up that key is probably the longest part. Now, let me show you an alternative way of setting up the key. Now, remember how I was saying that you have to trust the website, that it has been hacked and some malicious third-party software isn't sending it to someone else? That's all something that you need to worry about. Now, there's some really good old software that's been around for a long time. Now, this is a piece of software that I like to use, and this is called GPG for Win. Now, this gives you a nice GUI. It interacts with mail applications like Outlook. There's Mac versions of this, and of course, there's command line versions as well, which is the ideal way. And if you are command line savvy, go look up the tutorials on how to set this up. All you have to do is copy a few lines and you're set up and ready and you're good to go. But this is for people that aren't comfortable with that. So let's have a look at this here. So you can download and store this. You can also check the change log, check the integrity of all this. This is all open source. This is the source code for it here. You can check, or anyone can check what has been done within the code itself, and then confirm that there's nothing malicious happening. Now, a lot of people have been using this piece of software for a very long time, over 7 years. So a lot of people do keep an eye on the code and what's going on there, so that we know that this GPG for Win is as secure as possible and isn't doing anything malicious. So there's a high level of confidence within this piece of software. Now, this is the instructions here on how to actually use it. So we download GPG for Win, great. And then there's an application within there called Kleopatra, and we'll go through that and see exactly how it works. So let me fire up Kleopatra here. Now, I've just clicked on new key pair and bring up this prompt here. So I'm going to give my brand new key a name. I'll call it Peter Lace, and then I'll use my ADAM email address again. Now, here's an extra options. Protect the generated key with a passphrase. Yes, I want that. And advanced settings. Here, it defaults to the other algorithm, the ECDSA. Like I said, I prefer the RSA one, and I like it at the 4096 bits. So this gives that extra level of encryption, but at a cost of speed. So everything here looks good. Let's have a look at that. Signing. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Validate. Let's turn that off. I want this to be valid forever. Okay. All that looks good. Let's go OK. So that's all OK there. Let's click on OK. And this is now my passphrase that I'll need to create. So make sure it's something that you can remember so you can use this to decrypt files. I'll click on OK. So here it's saying this password's insecure. Make sure you use at least one digit. Make it a little bit complicated. Take this one anyway, because this is just a demonstration. I won't actually be using this for anything. There we go. So now it's creating the key pair for me. It does take a little while, as it states, so we'll just wait until that's all done. Oh, okay, there we go. So now I have my open PGP certificate successfully created. That's the fingerprint for it. I don't need to worry about that. But this is it here. So here I can see my key, the details of it, trust level unlimited. I can now export this and it will export me the public key. And I can also back up that secret key. So this is the pair, the two parts to it. I need to add in my passphrase to actually do this. And there it goes, backup successfully created. So now I have my public key and my private key backed up as files. So now I can use that to create a brand new wallet in Lace as well. So you have the options there in regards to how you can create your key. Again, if you do it this way, you can do this on a computer that's not connected online. So you can ensure that it's not submitting any of this data to a third party. Okay, great. So you've created your wallet and it's all ready to be used. But before you use it, you should probably try out the restoration process and learn how that actually works. The last thing you want to do is to load this up with $1 million worth of assets, only to realize in the future when you're trying to restore the wallet elsewhere, you can't restore it. It doesn't work. So make sure your restoration process works here. And of course, this also goes through the process of how we can restore this particular wallet here with the $1 million of USDM and potentially get access to it. Okay, so let me go through the process of restoring the wallet. So here I'll click on the drop down and I'll click on Add Wallet. From the options here, we click on Restore. Choose the paper wallet, and then you need to enable your webcam here to scan that particular QR code. So here the camera is enabled. So now all I need to do is hold up the piece of paper to the camera there, and there it goes. It will try to restore that. The next part of the process is it does come up with the prompt to put in the secret key for restoration. Now you do have some options here. You can upload that ASC file itself to decrypt it, or you can open up that file in a text editor and copy that secret key block and paste it into the Lace wallet restoration. And once you have that, it will also ask you that passphrase that you used to create the key, add that in, and your wallet is restored successfully. So now that you've done that, you can be quite confident that you can restore your wallet from this piece of paper. It's kind of like scary to know that you could be holding like a lot of assets, a lot of digital assets through this piece of paper itself. Of course, you have the extra PGP key that you need to keep secure as well. So now think about how you're going to store that away. With the piece of paper itself, make sure this is in a fireproof safe, it's laminated. I've got this thing called stone paper as well, so you can have that extra level of protection there. It's actually made with a little bit of stone in it so that it doesn't tear or burn as easily. So have that, laminate that in, put it in a fireproof safe and store that away securely. You may want multiple copies of this as well. So if one location gets compromised, you can have a different location that you can recover that piece of paper wallet. With that also, you also need to secure your PGP key. Now, you may not want to keep the PGP key in the same location as the paper wallet, because if the two are compromised at the same time, you do have that potential risk of someone using that combination to try and brute force attack your encrypted password. So it does have that level of risk there. So think about that, keep those two pieces of information in separate locations to keep that as secure as possible. And of course, the last bit is that passphrase. Probably don't write that down. Don't put it online. It's something that you need to remember. And if it's not anywhere that is obvious, written on your desk on a post-it, then it is incredibly hard to get access to that and brute force attack it. Of course, with quantum computing one day, they could possibly brute force attack this. So you've got levels of security there. You've got the paper wallet, which is somewhere. You got your PGP key, which is somewhere as well. And then you have the passphrase that is needed to decrypt anything. So we've got 3 levels of security there to ensure that your assets are nice and safe. So this Lace paper wallet is really, really good in securing your funds that way. Now, with all that in mind, we should probably talk about how this $1 million of USDM could potentially be hacked and taken from the wallet. And the only way that I can really think about this happening is through social engineering. And it has to be done really well here. So first off, we don't know who generated these PGP keys. It may have been Charles, it may have been someone at IOHK. So it really is a broad amount of people that could have had access to that PGP key, but it would have been one person that did it. Now, we don't know if they use an online generator or a piece of software like I did. Highly likely that they did it from a command line themselves, and we don't know if they created a fresh new pair or if it was an old pair. So we don't know what we're hacking here or how they've stored that away. But you need to somehow infiltrate the inner circle there of the people that know how things were created and socially engineer your way into that circle to try and get access to those keys. Now, from what I understand, this competition to hack the wallet is only open until the end of the year. So at that point in time, you could probably try and infiltrate the company, persuade someone to give you the PGP keys, and then also the passphrase as well. And then you'll be able to unlock this paper wallet and gain access to those funds. So can you see here how impractical this is and how hard that would be? I'm 100% sure that this would be secured away by one person, and only that one person knows the key and the passphrase and would be the one that is unlocking it as well. So they wouldn't be trusting anyone else to do this process. It is $1 million USD. So I wouldn't be, if I were them, I wouldn't be letting anyone else near that particular PGP key. So is this the most secure paper wallet out there? I think yes. It is incredibly complicated to try and gain someone's PGP key, their passphrase, and the paper wallet. So there's 3 things that you need to get access to there. And if they're all off-site, if they're all not in the same place, it is almost impossible to get all those 3 pieces together to unlock those funds. So I'm really liking this solution that Lace has put together here to secure your paper wallets. The tagline here is the most secure paper wallet in crypto, and I think Lace has hit that nail on the head. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Have I missed anything? Do you have any extra security tips in making this even more secure than how it is? I would love to know, and I'm sure anyone that's watching this video would love to know as well. And of course, if you got something out of this video, if you enjoyed it, please make sure you hit that thumbs up, hit subscribe, click on the notification bell, and I'll have a lot more video tutorials, education materials, and news and updates around the Cardano ecosystem for you. I'll see you in the next video.